in the 451st Judicial District Court of Kendall County, Texas. Court is broadcasting via Zoom and YouTube from Medina County, Texas. Are there any objections?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
With that, then, Ms. Bradley, would you please begin the announcements for the department?
Yes, Your Honor. Marilyn Bradley for the department.
Ms. Bradley, do you have English selected on your interpretation? You're the only person I haven't been able to hear.
I do now. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right, thank you. Marilyn Bradley for the department here on behalf of Drake McKeska. Your Honor, I was hoping that we could possibly confer just for a few minutes, all the attorneys. I just got these cases and I have not had a chance to contact them as to what their intentions are.
That's fine. Let's finish the announcements and then I'll put you in a breakout room.
Thank you.
Sherry Dye for Nelson Altamirano. He's present. We're ready. He's in agreement.
Anna Swallow for the alleged father, Freddie Hernandez, not ready. I don't believe there's been service and I believe he's out of the country.
Richard Sullivan, attorney for the children, ready.
Deborah Fuller, attorney for Ariel Rivas, Your Honor. I have no information in regards to his whereabouts. I am announcing not ready.
Rochelle.
Your Honor, Marco. Oh, go ahead.
I'm so sorry. Rochelle Savella for the mother. I don't believe she's present. I'm not sure she's been served, Judge. Not ready.
Marco Cabrera, I've been appointed to unknown father. I've got no identifying information, so I'm announcing not ready.
Sarah Woods, Hill Country Casa case supervisor.
Gina Wiley, investigator for the department.
Okay, we've got several not readies. There's a lot that I think needs to be discussed. I think it's going to be most efficient to talk about this procedural stuff with the attorneys in a breakout room. So I'm going to put the attorneys in a breakout room. I'm going to join you in there. We're going to talk through some things and then we'll come back and see what all we can accomplish here this morning. Okay, so for the record, if I get all the attorneys back, and I'm going to try to make sure I have this all straight. I do apologize if I get something wrong, but we do have Mr. Altamirano present here today in person and with counsel. We now have the mother, Miss Adela Perez, here by phone, appearing and with counsel. I'm going to grant the not ready for Miss Swallow's client, who is Mr. Freddie Hernandez. I'm going to grant Miss Fuller's not ready for Ariel Rivas, and I'm going to grant Mr. Cabrera's not ready, obviously, for the unknown father. We'll be making any orders as to them today because we can't confirm that we have service. So we're only going to be making orders as to the mother, Miss Perez, and Mr. Altamirano. Miss Dye and Miss Acevedo, do your clients enter appearances for all purposes in this suit at this time?
Yes.
Miss Acevedo?
I'm sorry, Judge. I had it on the Spanish, so I could only hear him.
That's fine. We're going to just have to go back and forth. It's okay. Does your client enter an appearance in this case?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Miss Bradley, what are the agreements as to Miss Perez and Mr. Altamirano?
Your Honor, my understanding is just something kind of an assumption, since they are in agreement, that the department will have temporary managing conservatorship. The children will remain with maternal grandmother Lily Perez as placement, and I assume we need to do a home study on that as soon as possible. And also that both parents are in agreement to work services, which will need to be developed in a family group conference. And we had discussed a DNA test, but since we were able to determine that there is a court order in effect, then there is no need for the DNA testing because Mr. Altamirano has been adjudicated as the father of
Correct.
Astrid, yes. And we did not talk about visitation, but I presume it is the usual every 2 weeks for 1 hour, definitely supervised because of the drug history and also concerns about Astrid's reluctance to go with her father.
Okay. So what I have, just to be clear, is an agreement for the department to be the temporary managing conservator of the children. And for the children, are all 3 children with Lily Pettis? Okay.
Correct.
All the children to remain there. Mr. Altamirano and Miss Pettis will both be possessory or temporary possessory conservators of the children. And parents will work services which will be created at a family group conference and be narrowly tailored to address the concerns that brought the children into care. Where is the court order from that makes Mr. Altamirano adjudicated as the father of Astrid? We don't know. Okay, well, I'll take judicial notice that the parties have represented to the court that an order exists, and then we need to get a copy of that so that we are not moving forward under a presumption that we're not aware of. And the visitation will be 1 hour every 2 weeks, supervised until further notice or agreement. Now, Miss Dye, is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Acevedo?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then, Miss Woods, have you been able to check into the situation with the children at all to this point?
Yes, Judge. I spoke to the maternal grandmother, Lily Perez, on Friday and checked in on the kids. They're doing well in their current placement, and I think it's safe and appropriate for that to continue.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Miss Wiley, you're the caseworker, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, is everything that you filed in your affidavit, to your knowledge, still true and correct today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe that this agreement is in the best interest of the children?
I do, Your Honor.
Miss Dye and Miss Acevedo, do you stipulate to the reasonable efforts in the affidavit?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yes, Judge.
And Miss Wiley, you believe that the placement is safe and appropriate, meeting the needs of the children?
I do. Grandmother has been a caretaker for the children for a long time. And in fact, the 2 older boys were residing with her at the time of this case came in.
Okay. So, I think that covers everything. Mr. Taranzo, let me communicate first with Mr. Altamirano. Does he agree to the agreement as stated on the record?
Yes.
I'm talking to the interpreter, Miss Dye.
¿De que esté con la abuela? Sí, yo estoy de acuerdo que la niña permanezca
Yes.
con la abuela más que no esté con la mamá. Por seguridad de la niña.
All right. And okay. And does he agree to work the services?
Sí, yo cumplo los servicios para después, porque yo también quiero la niña. Pero por ahorita, por seguridad, es bien que esté con la abuela.
Okay. And yeah, and they will be. Is he entering into the agreement voluntarily?
¿Perdón? Sí.
Nobody forced him to do this, and he's not been made any promises to do it, to get him to do it.
No, porque yo quiero que la niña, por ahorita, para mientras se resuelve lo del padre, ya que la niña, la madre no le quiso poner mi apellido cuando nació, por eso no se ha demostrado realmente que yo soy el papá, nomás por el apellido. Pero yo me hice cargo de la niña desde que nació a ayudarla y todo. Por ahorita es bien que esté con la abuela para mientras yo quiero la custodia de la niña para cuidar de ella siempre.
Okay. All right. Then that's what I need from him. Now let me talk to Miss Perez, and I believe she's on the phone with Miss Acevedo, correct? All right. Same questions, Mr. Toranzo. Is this the agreement that she made, the one that was stated on the record?
No.
Okay. Then, based on the agreement of the parties, court finds that Miss Perez and Mr. Altamirano have both entered an appearance today in this case and have appeared here as well and with counsel. Court finds that there's, based on the agreement of the parties and the testimony of the caseworker, there's sufficient evidence to satisfy a person of ordinary prudence and caution that there was a danger to the physical health or safety of the child caused by an act or failure to act of the person entitled to possession, and for the child to remain in the home is contrary to the welfare of the child. The urgent need for protection required the immediate removal of the child, and reasonable efforts consistent with the circumstances and providing for the safety of the child were made to eliminate or prevent the child's removal, and reasonable efforts have been made to enable the child to return home, but there's a substantial risk of a continuing danger if the child is returned home. Court finds that it is in the best interest of the children to name the Department of Family and Protective Services / belong as the temporary managing conservator of the children, to name Mr. Altamirano, Nelson Altamirano, as the temporary possessory conservator of Astrid, and to name Miss Evelyn Herrera Perez as the temporary possessory conservator of Astrid, Dylan, and Austin. Court finds that the placement of the children with Lily Perez is safe and appropriate and meeting their needs, and children are to remain there and not to be moved without court order. Court finds that the parties are to hold a family group conference to develop family plans of service that are narrowly tailored to address the concerns that brought the children into care. Court orders that anybody who can be there in person, be there in person. The court will excuse anyone whose client either has not been located or cannot be there in person due to being out of the country to participate electronically. Court finds that visitation shall be 1 hour every 2 weeks, supervised by the department / belong. We will have a status hearing October 9th, 2024 at 10:30. October 9th, 2024 at 10:30. I have to admonish the parents that the state of Texas gives the parents in CPS cases 12 months to demonstrate that you can provide a safe, stable, violence, and drug-free home for your child. If you cannot do so within 12 months, your rights to your child are subject to further restriction and or termination. Ms. Bradley, is there anything I failed to address?
No, Your Honor, but I did want to make the court aware that the legal assistant, Jamie Martinez, has located the court order, and I believe she has provided it to the court and to the attorneys. I was quickly skimming it, and it was a 2023 order from the Attorney General's office.
Is that out of Medina County?
It's out of Kendall.
Kendall? Oh, excuse me. I'm sitting in Medina County. That's why I had it in my head. So it is a Kendall County case.
It is.
Okay. All right. Well, very good. The court will take judicial notice that Kendall County child support from the AG court exists, and will, I don't know if you all want to discuss a consolidation. We don't need it today, but it might be something to discuss as we move forward. Okay. Thank you all for your time and your service. If nothing further, all parties are excused, and I'll see you October 9th, 2024 at 10:30 in the morning.
Excuse me, Judge, do we stay on for the other cases? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Judge, I'm sorry, what was that date, Judge?
October 9th, 2024 at 10:30.
And Judge, I did have one request. I'm sorry, I was trying to unmute. The youngest child is going to need daycare. That's something that the child's going to need at this time. So I'd be asking the court to order daycare for Astrid.
Okay, that will be ordered, and then Miss, where's she on there? Is James? Yeah, Miss Martinez. If we could get that order out ASAP to Miss Greenlee and make sure that it's got something in the subject line so it stands out from all the others. I'll get it signed ASAP.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, all parties are excused.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Judge, if the
Okay,
inmate is here, if I can
um,
go in a breakout room with him on the next
Before I call the case, I just want to kind of get an idea. From where I'm sitting, we don't have mom here. I don't know that we have service on her, and father is alleged. You're muted, Miss Bradley.
Father is presumed, Your Honor. There is a birth certificate. He is the presumed father.
Well, and that changes that situation. Miss Di, I'm going to mute you just to cut down some of that noise while I call the case.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Mr. Toronzo, are you able to communicate okay with Mr. Vasquez at this point?
Yeah.
So he's incarcerated right now, and that's him. I just renamed him Jose Vasquez. If you want to talk to
Yes.
him, there might be somebody in the room who can make sure that the interpretation is set correctly.
The bailiff is in the room. Officer, are you able to see if the interpretation feature is set up correctly?
Yes, ma'am.
Does it seem to be working? You can hear the interpreter in there?
I can't hear. Who is Joaquin Toronto, the interpreter? I can't hear him.
Correct.
I can't hear him. Let me see here.
So whoever the bailiff is there, if you can look in the Zoom function, there's a interpretation button. It looks like a little globe.
Yes.
If you open that up and you select Spanish, then Mr. Vasquez will be able to hear Mr. Toronzo speaking Spanish.
Here, we got it, Judge. Thank you.
Okay. All right, very good. With that then, Ms. Bradley, would you please begin the announcements for the department?
Yes, Your Honor. Marilyn Bradley for the department, substituting for Drake McKeska. And we are ready, and with, I believe we have an agreement with the father, Mr. Jose Vasquez.
Sherry Dye, on behalf of Mr. Vasquez, he's present. We are ready. He's in agreement.
Maureen Yanis, attorney appointed to represent the mother, Marlene Mazariegos. I am announcing not ready. She is not present and she has not been served, Judge.
Kathleen Savage, attorney ad litem for the child. Your Honor, I'm ready.
Cassandra.
Sarah,
Sorry.
Sarah Woods, CASA case supervisor.
Elizabeth Sheehan, Hill Country CASA, guardian ad litem for the child.
Go ahead, Ms. Smith.
Cassandra Smith, CPI investigator.
Anyone who is not an attorney or will be giving testimony, would you please raise your right hand? All right. We have a not ready from Ms. Yanis due to the fact that her client has not been served, is not present. Court will grant the not ready as to the mother and enter no orders as to her today. However, court is under the impression that Mr. Vasquez is a presumed father, is on the birth certificate, and he has been served and is present, and the parties have an agreement. Therefore, we can move forward. Ms. Bradley.
That is correct, Your Honor. Sorry.
Thank you. No, that's okay. Ms. Bradley, what is your understanding of the agreement between the parties at this time?
Yes, Your Honor. It is our understanding that Mr. Vasquez is the presumed father on the birth certificate. The court should be aware this is a Guatemalan birth certificate, so we will be looking at that very closely, but he does show to be the presumed father. And from the information that we have been able to gather, the mother is in Guatemala and does have occasional contact with the child, Sonia. He has agreed to the department having temporary managing conservatorship, and he will have possessory conservatorship. He is detained in jail. I believe you can see that from where he is confined. And he also has an ICE hold for also on his record. We do have observing, we did, yes. I believe Lucinda Valdez is just observing in case there are any immigration questions. And Mr. Vasquez is in agreement with placement to continue with Sonia's second grade teacher, Miss Cazares, Cazares, I believe I'm spelling it right. And all parties are in agreement for the child to remain there, as she's very familiar with the teacher and very excited to be with her teacher. There is no visitation, of course, because Mr. Vasquez is incarcerated and we don't have a way of reaching the mother, but if she wishes to appear, we will, of course, ask the court for some kind of communication with the child. I believe, need to double check my notes. Mr. Vasquez did have some other placements. He indicated that he would like studied, but we don't have the names of those individuals yet. And I think that is all, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. As far as that placement goes, is there a need for a study?
I was told that they have already sent out the
Your
homesteader.
Honor, they're calling me in the 444th in Brownsville right now. I'm in their jury room. They're calling me out there right now.
Okay.
May I stipulate that I have talked with my client and that he is in agreement to these services and to this temporary placement at this time?
I don't have a problem with that as long as nobody else has any objection.
Oh, no objection.
Okay.
All right.
You are
Thank you.
excused, Ms. Dye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. What were you going to say about the home study, Ms. Savage?
I believe what Belong had told me is they've already submitted the homesteader request. I think Miss Crouch can probably confirm that. She's there.
That's correct.
She has confirmed it. All right. Then let me just, Ms. Savage, this is your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, it is. And I do believe it's in her best interest.
All right. And Ms. Giannis, I understand you're not party to it. Ms. Sheehan, is this your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay. Ms. Smith, is everything that was in your affidavit, to your knowledge, still true and correct today?
Yes, it is, Judge.
Do you believe that this agreement is in the best interest of the child?
Yes, I do.
And do you believe that the department made every reasonable effort to avoid a removal and to keep the child home, but that you were unable to?
Yes, Judge.
All right. And the parties stipulate to the reasonable efforts made by the department, Ms. Savage, and I guess it would just be you, Ms. Savage. Ms. Bryce has already gone.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Vasquez, is this the agreement that you made?
Sí,
And are you entering into this agreement voluntarily?
sí,
Were you forced in any way to agree to it or made any promises to get you to agree to it?
ninguna promesa.
Okay. And do you understand the agreement and what's expected of you?
Sí, entiendo, me explicaron.
All right. Okay, very good. All right,
Your
then the
Honor.
court finds that the father, Mr. Vasquez, has been personally served as of August 20th, 2024, and also appeared Here today, with counsel. Court finds that the mother has not yet been served. Court enters no orders as to the mother. As to the father, the court will adopt and approve the agreement for the Department of Family Protective Services / belong to be named as the temporary managing conservator of the child, and for Mr. Vasquez to be named a temporary possessory conservator. Court finds that it's in the best interest of the child to remain in the placement with her teacher, Ms. Casares. Court finds that placement is safe and appropriate, meeting her needs and in her best interest to continue. Court finds or court orders the parties to participate in a family group conference to develop family plans of service that are narrowly tailored to address the concerns that brought the child into care. Court recognizes that the mother, Ms. Mazariegos, and the father, Mr. Vasquez, more likely than not will be unable to participate in the family group conference. In this situation, I will allow the parties to attend the family group conference virtually, since the reason for having it in person is going to be frustrated by their inability to attend. Court orders no visitation at this time. We'll be back for a status hearing on October the 9th, 2024 at 11 a.m. October 9th, 2024 at 11 a.m. I have to admonish the parents that the state of Texas gives parents in CPS cases 12 months to demonstrate that you can provide a safe, stable, violence, and drug-free home for your child. If you cannot do so within 12 months, your rights to your child are subject to restriction and/or termination. The court finds sufficient evidence in this case to satisfy a person of ordinary prudence and caution that there was a danger to the physical health or safety of the child caused by an act or failure to act of the person entitled to possession, and for the child to remain in the home is contrary to the welfare of the child. The urgent need for protection required the immediate removal of the child, and reasonable efforts consistent with the circumstances and providing for the safety of the child were made to eliminate or prevent the child's removal. And reasonable efforts have been made to enable the child to return home, but there is a substantial risk of a continuing danger if the child is returned home. And again, the court references the reasonable efforts that are in the affidavit that the parties stipulated to as part of the agreement. So we will be back October 9th, 2024 at 11 a.m. for our status hearing. Miss Bradley, is there anything else I failed to address?
Yes, not that you failed to address. I just wanted to make the court aware. The court indicated that Mr. Vasquez had signed a waiver, and actually that had not been notarized. Of course, he is appearing today, and I believe the court has jurisdiction, but I did want to make the court aware. I think because he was incarcerated, they wouldn't give him a pen to sign or something like that. I'm not too sure.
Well, I don't know. This says here, what I think I said was he was personally served. Was he not personally served? I think the one you're talking about was in the case before.
I'm so sorry. I bet
okay.
you're right. If he was incarcerated, of course, they probably served him personally. Thank you for the correction.
Your
That's
Honor,
okay.
while we have Mr. Vasquez here, I just wanted to see if he had an address for mom or a phone number or any way to get in contact with her. No.
No. Ahorita no tengo nada aquí en mi posición.
Okay.
Can we ask how he communicates with her?
Cuando estoy afuera, mi sobrino me hace favor de llamarle a ella. Rafael se llama mi sobrino.
Do you know the number for his nephew?
Mi trabajadora social se hizo cargo de hablar con él.
Ms. Smith, do you have any way to get a hold of anybody that might be able to contact the mother or provide us any information when, like, this nephew?
So I'd gotten a call over the weekend, and then I've called back to the officer to see about getting information about that uncle. I haven't gotten a call back. As far as with the mother, we have a special investigator that has found a profile on Facebook that appears to might be hers. And they've been trying to reach her out through Facebook Messenger. And to my knowledge of right now, there has been no response.
Okay. Well, Ms. Savage, I think that as far as we can go with it today.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Vasquez.
All right. Then that will be the order of the court. And I'll see you October 9th, 2024 at 11 a.m. Nothing further. All parties are excused.
Thank you.
All right. Good morning. I don't know that we have either parent on this case present with us. Does anyone have any information as to that?
Yes, Your Honor, I apologize. I had my hearings flip-flopped in my last announcement. There is a difficulty with my client, the father, and him being present today in time. So I don't expect that he will be online this time.
Okay. Miss Lawrence, thank you for that, Miss Dye. Miss Lawrence, any word from Miss Mazariegos?
Yes, Your Honor. We have been able to make contact with her, not myself personally, but my covering coworker as well as CASA.
But we still don't have service.
We do not have service. The consulate was notified and stated that because her address is for a communal area, they cannot serve her.
Has she indicated any willingness to participate?
Yes, she has, and she does have all the information regarding this hearing today, so we were hoping that she would be present.
Okay, well, we'll see. All right, I'm gonna call it. Are you ready, Miss Cavazos Jones? Well, actually,
Yes, Your Honor.
she's not here. Just so neither is the father, so we don't really need an interpreter for this hearing. Now that I think about it.
I could
So
wait just in case they come in late, Your Honor, if you
yeah,
don't mind.
just wait a few minutes and we'll see what happens. But right now you're off the hook. In okay, 451st Judicial District Court of Kendall County, Texas. Miss Thompson, would you please begin the announcements?
Jessica Thompson for the department.
Kira Lawrence, Permanency Specialist with Belong.
Ashley Crouch, Permanency Supervisor with Belong.
Maureen Yanis, appointed for the mother, Marlene Mazariegos. Judge Wheat met with her on the 27th. She does have the Zoom information for today. However, she still hasn't been served and she's not here. So for that reason, I'm announcing not ready.
Sherry Dye, on behalf of the father, I'm announcing not ready just due to his inability to be present today. But he is aware of this lawsuit and participated at the 260.
Kathleen Savage, attorney ad litem for the child, Your Honor. I'm ready.
Sarah Woods, Hill Country Casa, guardian ad litem case supervisor.
Elizabeth Sheehan, guardian ad litem, Hill Country Casa.
Miss Lawrence, did you all develop a permanency goal at your family group conference?
A permanency goal, we developed a family plan of service.
Okay. Did you develop a permanency goal though?
Yes, the permanency goal currently is still family reunification at this time.
And any child heritage in this case?
No, Your Honor.
Where's the child placed?
She is with her teacher from last year,
What county?
Kendall County. She's in Bernie.
What was the date of that placement?
August 19th, 2024.
Okay. I'm going to grant mom's not ready. Miss Yanis is not ready because we don't have service on the mother. I know she met with y'all, but we still don't have service. I don't have her here. Got no jurisdiction over her yet. And then Miss Dye, I'm going to overrule yours just because the father did participate. He's aware of this suit. It's just a status hearing, so we're going to go ahead and move forward. Miss Lawrence, is that placement safe and appropriate, meeting her needs?
Yes, it is.
It's in her best interest to continue.
Yes, it is.
Does the grandmother have it, or the teacher have everything she needs?
Yes, she does, and she has a kinship specialist as well.
Is Sonia up to date on all of her checkups?
She is.
Any concerns?
She has some dental concerns and a follow-up has been scheduled for October.
Any assessments?
She did complete a CANS. She is in the process of getting set up with therapy. I spoke with the caregiver yesterday, and made sure that she did have the information for that. And then we are scheduling a psychological for her as well.
How's she doing in school?
She's doing well. She doesn't read or write very well, in English or Spanish, I believe. So they're working with her on that, but she has a good understanding.
So would you say her educational needs are being met?
Absolutely.
Is she taking any medicine?
No.
Was any kind of therapy recommended or needed?
She does need to be in therapy per the CANS recommendation, so that's what we're working on.
Oh, okay, you said that. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
All right. Did you all hold a family group conference?
Yes, sir.
Did the father participate?
He was not able to, but his attorney did.
And then I know the mom, it sounds like Ms. Giannis said that y'all met with her. Was that at the family group conference?
No, it was separate.
Okay, so she did not participate in the creation of her plan?
Correct. Her attorney did.
Are those plans narrowly tailored to address the concerns that brought the children into care?
Yes, they are.
And are they in the best interest of the children?
Yes.
Are they on file?
Yes, they are.
You're asking the court to make them orders today?
Yes, sir.
Does the mother understand what's expected of her after you met with her?
I was not at the meeting myself, so I am not exactly aware, but I do have the notes documented and I did review those. I believe she has an understanding of the case.
Can you briefly set forth what services you want both parents to do?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Can you briefly describe which services you want the parents to do?
Yes. For Ms. Mazariegos, we are asking that she provide us with proof of employment and a budget, and proof of safe and stable housing. We're asking that she also complete a parenting education course and provide us with a certificate of completion. If visits are scheduled, we're asking that she participate consistently. We're also asking that she see a therapist and complete a psychosocial assessment with that therapist and follow all recommendations. And then for Mr. Vasquez, we are asking that he would also provide us with any proof of employment, a budget, and access to the home that he is living in once he is out of incarceration. We are also asking that he complete parenting education courses and submit us a certificate of completion, and that if visits are scheduled, he will participate consistently. And then we are asking that he will also complete a psychosocial assessment and participate in individual counseling and follow all recommendations that are made.
At this time, is it safe to return the child to either parent?
No, sir.
At this time, has either parent addressed the concerns that brought Sonia into care?
No, sir.
Is it in her best interest to remain in the temporary managed conservatorship of the department?
Yes, it is.
Has either parent visited with the child at all?
No.
Ms. Thompson?
No questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Giannis?
No questions, Judge.
Di?
Yes, is there anything that my client can do from where he's currently located with respect to services or this case?
I do not believe the county he's currently incarcerated in offers classes that would fit his service plan.
Okay. And when did you last speak with him?
I spoke with him within the first 2 weeks of September. I've met with him twice now. I don't have that exact date pulled up.
Okay. And would you agree that he wants to be cooperative with respect to this case?
Yes, he does.
And so what does the department recommend at this point, since he cannot do anything where he's located currently?
We are still recommending that he complete the services that are asked of him. He we're not sure how long he'll be incarcerated for, and it's important that these services remain intact.
Okay. And have you had any contact with his criminal attorney?
I have not.
Okay, thank you. I'll pass.
Ms. Savage.
Yes, Bailey is going, or not Bailey, I apologize. Sonia is going to be starting therapy, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you know if that appointment has been scheduled yet?
It has not, I believe, but I spoke with the caregiver yesterday, so between yesterday and today, I'm not sure.
Okay, and phone calls with the mother are going to hopefully begin and possibly be facilitated by the therapist?
Yes, we would follow the therapist's recommendations on that.
Okay, and would the department be opposed to any kind of letters or any kind of some sort of communication between Sonia and her father?
As long as they're reviewed by the department, I don't see a problem with that.
Okay, I'll pass witness, Your Honor.
Anything further from anyone else? Ms. Savage.
Nothing else, Your Honor.
Nothing else that you want to report?
Oh, just that I did meet with Sonia. She is doing well in the placement. She is comfortable there. She has that relationship. She is interested in starting phone calls with her mother. I know that there are siblings back home in Guatemala with mom. But she did voice really wanting some sort of contact with dad. She was really missing him. She got emotional during our visit. Maybe if we could do some sort of letters. While nobody has told her specifically where he's at, kids in school talk, and so she has been made aware by a kid that her dad's in jail, so she has an idea. I think that needs to be something she processes with her therapist. I'm sure she's concerned about him. So I'm happy that we've been able to make contact with mom. Hopefully she follows through with the phone call. She voiced wanting them. I know Sonia is interested in to restart that relationship, but right now it's been years since she's seen her, so it's going to take some time.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Sheehan.
Yes, good morning, Judge. Sonia's doing really well in her placement home. She's doing as well as possible in school. She's on a 504, so she's getting extra one-on-one attention and help. The school tested both her hearing and for glasses. Her hearing passed. She has an appointment set up for October 23rd to see an eye doctor, see if she needs glasses. As far as dental work is concerned, yes, there's a lot of dental work to be done. 4 cavities, 1 bad tooth, some broken molars. I think it's just due to bad hygiene and never really having been examined before. She had a regular medical checkup on October 7th and passed with flying colors. As mentioned before, she is going to be working with a therapist. The placement mom was going to be calling yesterday to try to set up an appointment, and they're going to talk about whether they can drive from Bernie to Kerrville, whether that's even doable for them to be able to do that once a week for therapy, which Sonia needs. Sonia, I asked through the placement mom if she could interpret, and I asked if she ever asked about her mom, and she said no. And I asked if we found her mom, would she want to go and live with her? And she said no. And I was a little bit surprised, but then I started thinking about it, and she hasn't seen her mom in half her lifetime, but the last person that she had been with was her dad. So that's all she thinks about, as Ms. Savage had talked about. So we do hope to have this family, this placement family, continue on. They are continuing with the licensing process. They're almost finished with all of the different modules, and they have submitted their application and very willing to adopt this child should that be the end run.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Court finds for the purpose of the status hearing that the permanency goal, the family reunification, I guess with the father at this time, more than the mother, can't get to show up, is in the best interest of the child Court finds there's no Indian child heritage in this suit, that the placement of the child is safe, appropriate, meeting her needs and in her best interest to continue. Court finds that the child is up to date on all of her checkups, her dental concerns are being appropriately addressed, and that she has been evaluated and is getting set up for therapy. Court finds that her educational needs are being met and that she's not receiving any medications. Court finds the parties held a family group conference. Parents did not participate, but their attorneys did. Court finds that family plans of service narrowly tailored to address the concerns that brought the child into care were developed, and those family plans of service are in the best interest of the child. The court will order they be made orders of the court, and I'm going to order that belong. Make sure each parent obviously get a copy of that. Court finds there's been no visitation as of this time. We'll see if some happens. Obviously, whatever visitation schedule we had in place when this case began will stand. I'm going to allow the contact between the father and the child subject to therapist approval and review of what's going back and forth. I agree that that is important, especially, I mean, I heard two things. She hasn't had contact with her mother for almost half her life. And she understands what's going on with her dad and she wants to see him. So I think denying her the opportunity to have that contact with him while he's incarcerated. Is he still incarcerated? Am I understanding that correctly? Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Yes, Your Honor.
Denying her that opportunity is essentially just completely cutting her off from everything she's known. As far as family goes, and I don't want to do that. I don't think that's in her best interest. So I'll allow that contact, but the therapist has to be involved in it. Our next hearing would be our initial permanency hearing, January 8th, 2025 at 11:30 a.m. January 8th, 2025 at 11:30 a.m. That's going to be in person. I don't know if we're going to have mom involved at that point or if dad's going to be out or what the deal is, but if we have interpretation issues, I want to be in person with those. I'll also distribute a discovery control plan and a pretrial scheduling order with dates and times of future hearings and rules and deadlines for discovery. I have to put the admonishment on the record that the state of Texas gives parents in CPS cases 12 months to demonstrate they can provide a safe, stable, violence, and drug-free home. In the event they cannot, their rights to their child are subject to restriction and or termination. Ms. Thompson, what did I miss? Anything?
You didn't miss anything, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you all for your time and your service. If nothing further, all parties are excused. Court of Kendall County, Texas. Court is hearing this case from Medina County, Texas. Are there any objections?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
No, Your
With that, then, Ms. Bradley, would you please begin the announcements?
Marilyn Bradley for the department, substituting for William McKeska. We're ready.
Richard Sullivan, attorney for the child, ready?
Your Honor, Marco Cabrera, I represent the unknown father. I've got no identifying information announcing not ready.
Sarah Woods, CASA case supervisor.
And I am waiting to see if we get Ms. Acevedo on board. In the meantime, if you're not an attorney or you'll be giving testimony, please raise your right hand. I think it's just Ms. Espinosa and Ms. Woods. We are here for an adversary hearing. My understanding is that the mother, Malia Pinto Garcia, who Ms. Acevedo represents, is not in the country. That's my understanding. And I'm not sure if we have service. And then Mr. Cabrera represents the unknown father. He's announced not ready. Obviously, we don't have any information on that unless Ms. Espinosa has something, but I'm not sure what we're going to be able to accomplish this morning. Let me get Ms. Acevedo on. And Ms. Acevedo, when you're up and running, if you could please announce.
Judge Rochelle Acevedo for the mother. I'm not sure if she's present.
She's not. Have you had contact with her?
No, Judge, I've made several attempts at the number that was provided and I have not had any contact with her.
Okay.
I'll announce not.
Okay.
I have
do you-
had contact. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Ms. Espinosa.
I have had contact with the neighbor who is acting as a really good support for the mom, and she has a working phone. I want to say around 10 o'clock or 10:40, she was in the waiting room. I texted her to see what the status is on her joining because she was in earlier. I just don't know if she got off.
Well, everybody that's in the waiting room is in this hearing. So if she was here, she's now gone.
Okay.
Do you want to try to contact her one more time, Ms. Acevedo, see if we might be able to get her here?
I can attempt to call Judge, but I have been since earlier this morning and I haven't got any response. Actually,
Okay.
Judge, I'm sorry. My office reached out to that same number, mom's cell number, and the last information that I have was that someone did answer and denied being her and said that and denied knowing the child.
Okay. Ms. Espinosa, do you have a way you might be able to reach out and just one last ditch effort to see if we can contact her?
Yes, I can contact the neighbor. I can call the neighbor.
Okay, thank you. While you're doing that, Ms. Bradley, do you have any service information at all? My understanding is that the service was not effectuated.
That is correct, Your Honor. Miss Melia Idalia Pinto Garcia was not served. I believe she is from Honduras. And we don't know who the father would be. And that's all we have.
Okay. Where's the child?
The child is placed with a foster, Miss Asher Bird identified herself as being the foster parent, and that child is with her.
All right. This is our first setting, correct?
Just for the record, my name is Darla Bird.
Oh,
Thank
sorry.
you,
ma'am. Your Honor.
Yes.
We did speak to the neighbor and she believes that she's in a waiting room. I have a phone number that her attorney can reach her at if they would like to confer and try to help her get on the Zoom.
She's in a waiting room, like a physical waiting room somewhere, or she's in a virtual waiting room?
In a virtual waiting room.
Yeah, if you want to try to contact her, let's see if we can get a hold of her. Let's just do that and we'll be in recess until we figure it out.
Okay.
Thank you.
Judge, is it possible to get a breakout room with her and the interpreter?
I'll put you all in room 2. I had Miss Pinto Garcia. There she is. All right, they're still talking in the other room. So she could just hang out in here, just stay where she is. As soon as they're done talking, they'll come back in and we'll work on some stuff. Okay, I think we have everybody here now.
Judge, if I may, within about a half an hour, I'm going to have to start making my way to you for my in-person at 1:30. Seeing as how I have no client or information, if we are going to proceed, if I could just have a ruling and then be excused.
That'll be fine. Let me see where we are. Do we have any kind of an agreement?
Judge, yes, with my client, she's in agreement.
Okay. Then Mr. Cabrera represents an unknown father. He's announced not ready. I don't know what we're going to get done with Mr. Cabrera today. Is there any opposition to me letting him leave?
No.
No. Okay, Mr. Cabrera, you are excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. All right. Mr. Taranzo, can we please get mom to announce on the record, please?
Mi nombre es Melia Idalia Pinto Garcia.
Okay. Miss Bradley, what is the agreement that we have with the mother at this time?
Well, Your Honor, I have not conferred with Ms. Acevedo. She was in a separate room, but I'm assuming that she is in agreement for the department to have TMC, for her to be possessory, for the child to stay in the current placement. And as far as visitation, I think this child is right at just short of a year old, maybe 9 months, something like that. So for infants, we usually do weekly, but of course it would have to be supervised weekly for an hour or 2 hours every other week, whichever works better.
Okay, then okay. Ms. Acevedo, does that sound correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Saldivar?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm in agreement.
Casa?
Yes, sir. We're in agreement.
Okay. Ms. Pinto Garcia, did you hear the agreement that was made?
Sí.
Do you understand the agreement?
Sí. Sí.
Did you have a chance to talk to your attorney about it?
No.
No? I thought they did. I thought y'all talked to Ms. Acevedo, no?
No. Oh,
Ms.
sí,
Acevedo?
ahorita hace poco sí.
Okay, all right. And are you asking the court to approve the agreement?
Sí.
And were you forced to agree to this or made any promises to get you to agree to it?
Yo lo que estoy haciendo esto porque yo lo que quiero es recuperar a mi niña, yo quiero tenerla conmigo. Por eso estoy haciendo todo esto, todo lo que me digan que haga por recuperar a mi niña.
Okay. All right, then the court will find that Ms. Melia Pinto Garcia has appeared today for all intents and purposes in this case, in person or via Zoom, along with her attorney. Court finds that the parties have entered into an agreement. Ms. Espinosa, do you believe that this agreement is in the best interest of the child?
I do, Judge.
Is everything that was in your affidavit when you filed it to your knowledge today still true and correct?
Yes, sir.
And placement of the child is safe at this time?
Yes, sir.
And placement is foster, correct?
Yes.
All right, and you believe that the department made all reasonable efforts to avoid a removal and to return the child home in this case?
Yes, Judge.
And did the circumstances of this case prevent returning the child home?
Yes.
And was it necessary for the removal to occur?
Yes, Judge.
You're asking for the court to name the Department of Family Protective Services and belong as a temporary managing conservator?
Yes.
Do all attorneys stipulate to the reasonable efforts in the affidavit?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Then the court will adopt and approve the agreement and name the Department of Family Protective Services as the temporary managing conservator of the child. Name the mother as the temporary possessory conservator of the child. Court finds that there's sufficient evidence to satisfy a person of ordinary prudence and caution that there was a danger to the physical health or safety of the child caused by an act or failure to act of the person entitled to possession, and for the child to remain in the home is contrary to the welfare of the child. The urgent need for protection required the immediate removal of the child, and reasonable efforts consistent with the circumstances and providing for the safety of the child were made to eliminate or prevent the child's removal. And reasonable efforts have been made to enable the child to return home, but there's a substantial risk of a continuing danger if the child is returned home. There's no Indian child heritage in this case, is there, Ms. Espinosa?
Not to my knowledge, no, sir.
Okay. Court will defer child support, medical support at this time. I'm going to order visitation to be 1 hour per week or 2 hours every other week, whatever the parties decide is more appropriate in this case, supervised by Belong or the department. I don't want to flip flop it though. So it either needs to be 1 hour every week or 2 hours every other week. And then it's just stay with whatever's best. But I want to give you all the opportunity to figure out which one works best. I'm going to order the parties to hold a family group conference and set up a family plan of service for the mother that's narrowly tailored to address the concerns that brought the child into care. I'm going to find the mother is still indigent at this time and maintain Ms. Acevedo in her respective appointment. And I'm going to order the parties to talk to the mother at the family group conference about any potential father, any information on it, whatever we can get. Anything else you want to add, Mr. Saldivar?
No, Judge. Child's doing well. In the current placements here, meeting all her needs right now. She's gonna get some evaluations done. She has I believe, a loose joint hip that we're gonna see if there's gonna need extra measures to take care of that. But other than that, Judge, I don't believe she needs any order.
Okay. Ms. Woods, anything else from CASA?
Nothing else, Judge. I was able to see the child on Monday. She's doing well in her foster placement. CASA believes that it's safe and appropriate to continue. Like Mr. Saldivar said, she is getting some upcoming testing for her loose hips and for some developmental delays.
Okay.
Judge,
Well,
one other thing. I believe the department's working on daycare, but it's going to be needed in this case. So just in case, I would just ask that daycare be ordered if needed.
it is. Daycare is ordered. All right. Now, I know everybody heard it, but Miss Pinto Garcia was very adamant and passionate about the fact that she's going to do whatever it takes to get her child back. And we're dealing with the language barrier. So I want to make sure that you all have an in-person family group conference and that she is there and Ms. Acevedo, you're there, and that we go over everything that is necessary to make sure that she has all the information she needs. And we get started off on the right foot. I'm trying to make sure I don't butcher the name. Ms. Pinto Garcia, this type of case is going to go as well or as bad or poorly as it can go based on how much you participate. So there's obviously some issues we need to work on. So put this case in the front of your life. This case takes priority over everything else. I understand you have to work. I understand you got to make ends meet and get things together, but you got to put priority on this case, and all your jobs, whatever you do with your life besides this case, needs to be scheduled around this case. Does that make sense?
Sí.
Okay. And I want to see you reunited with your child, and I want to see this case go as quickly as possible. So stay in touch with your attorney, stay in touch with your caseworker. And if you have questions at any time, or if there's something that you're worried about or that you can't do, you reach out and ask somebody for help. Okay.
Okay, está bien.
All right. Anything? Very good. Muy bien. Anything else that we need to take up today?
Just next.
Después de hacer esto, las terapias, ¿cuándo voy a comenzar a recibirlas?
Ms. Espinosa will contact her about who's going to be taking over her case, and they'll get her the referrals.
Okay,
So
está bien.
she needs to answer phone calls and texts and make sure that everybody has her phone number.
Okay, está bien.
Okay, then we'll be back October 9th, 2024 at 10 a.m. October 9th, 2024 at 10 a.m.
Okay.
And I have to admonish the parents. The state of Texas gives parents in
Okay.
CPS cases 12 months to demonstrate you can provide a safe, stable, violence, and drug-free home for your child. You cannot do so in 12 months, and your rights to your child are subject to more restriction as they are now, or termination.
Okay, está bien.
All right. Thank you all. Oh, very good. Thank you all for your time and your service. Gracias,
Thank you.
Mr. Garcia. Buena suerte.
Ya.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Taranza. We'll see you